When this woman was assaulted by a catcaller, appalled bystanders leapt up to confront him. Although it was over in a matter of seconds, the scene was a shocking one. As Mary Laguerre walked past a cafe in Paris, a stranger started catcalling her. When she responded, the culprit got aggressive and bystanders stepped in. Unluckily for him, the whole thing was caught on camera. The incident occurred in Paris, France on July 24, 2018, shortly after 6:30 p.m., and appeared to be over in little more than 30 seconds. It was an innocuous scene as patrons sat on the terrace of a cafe as they chatted and sipped their coffee. Cars drove by on the street beside it. The cafe's surveillance footage captured a woman walking along the sidewalk past the premises. It is a pleasant summer's day, and the woman is wearing a red summer dress and black sandals. It is architecture student Mary Laguerre, her long, dark, curly hair flowing behind her as she strides purposefully by. As Laguerre enters the shot, however, somebody else is appearing in the footage. Walking in the opposite direction is a bearded man with unkempt hair. He is wearing light slacks and a dark t-shirt, and he is carrying what appears to be a black sack, which is draped over his shoulder. As the paths cross, the stranger appears to say something to Laguerre, causing her to turn her head as she walks past. Nevertheless, she keeps on moving, and all the while the cafe's patrons continue talking among themselves. But then, suddenly, the mood appears to change. As Laguerre exits the shot, the man has picked up an ashtray and hurled it at her from across the terrace. Then he walks out of view, and moments later, the man reappears and strides in the direction the 22-year-old student has taken. The man seems agitated. By this point, the cafe's customers have turned their attention from their conversations toward Laguerre. By now, she is back in the frame of the surveillance camera as the man moves towards her. Then, without any apparent provocation, he raises his hand and strikes the young woman. The blow is hard enough that Laguerre becomes uneasy on her feet and has to catch her balance by using the cafe's glass partition. Startled onlookers jump from their seats to the young woman's defense. One man even picks up a chair, maybe as a warning or perhaps to protect himself if necessary. Laguerre has been on her way home when the man she had never met before began catcalling her as she walked past. When she posted about the incident on Facebook, she wrote that the man was using dirty language in a humiliating and provocative manner. She was in no mood to take it. Laguerre wrote, "I told him to shut up and kept walking away because I can't stand this kind of behavior. I can't keep quiet, and we mustn't keep quiet any longer." But for some reason, her response didn't sit well with the assailant, sparking the incident, which is made all the more shocking given the time and location. As the young woman described to the French newspaper Le Parisien, "I didn't even think he heard me. But he had heard me, and suddenly things happened. He grabbed an ashtray and threw it at me. It missed my head by a few centimeters. From there, things escalated quickly." Understandably shaken by the man's actions, Laguerre yelled at him. As she recalled, "I felt hatred. I refused to be demeaned. It was humiliating." The man apparently took exception to the student expressing her disgust. He walked back towards her, and they stood face to face, which is when he hit her. Speaking to journalists, Laguerre explained, "I was so annoyed I didn't want to hide, to look down, that he dared to be angry when it was me who had the reason to be angry. I turned to him and everything went extremely fast, but then I knew he was going to hit me. But incredibly, she wouldn't back down. I was even ready to fight," Laguerre continued. "When the blow came, I took it without showing any emotion." He continued to scream. It was then, as the cafe's customers took a moment to fully understand what was happening, that they stepped into the architecture student's defense. Yet the cafe patrons weren't the only people who were paying attention. Laguerre posted the surveillance footage from the cafe to her Facebook and YouTube profiles. Between them, they have been viewed nearly 9 million times, with very many more seeing the shocking footage through news outlets. But that's not all. For a while, French authorities have been in the process of drafting a bill to make sexual harassment on their streets an offense. Early in August, just a few days after the high-profile attack, the legislation was passed into law, taking effect just a month later. According to the new legislation, sexual harassment on the streets of France is now illegal. This means that anyone caught catcalling or making unwanted or unnecessarily aggressive advances towards anyone in public could face a hefty fine, as much as €750 or about $860 for their behavior. France's gender equality minister, Marlene Schiappa, who is largely responsible for the legislation, told Reuters in August 2018, "Harassment in the street has previously not been punished. From now on, it will be. The laws of the French Republic forbid insulting, intimidating, threatening, and following women in public spaces." In the wake of her own attack, Laguerre set up a website named Notre Dame. It's a place where women can anonymously share their experiences of street harassment and find support from others who have gone through similar traumas. The name translates to "We are all harassed." On the YouTube post of the footage of the attack, LaGuire wrote, "This is unacceptable behavior. It happens every day, everywhere, and I don't know a single woman who doesn't have a similar story. I am sick of feeling unsafe walking in the street. Things need to change, and they need to change now."